Welcome to How to Start a Website 2.0. You can find the blog article that goes with this session at howtostartawebsite2.com/page and post. Okay, let's dive into another session, and I promise this time we're going to learn how to do pages and posts within our WordPress dashboard so that we can see this content appear on the front end of our website. Let's see. Let's do pages first because I have a couple of pages over here that I've been dying to put on the site. So if you come over here to the left-hand side underneath where it says dashboard, you just come down to where it says pages, and you come over and say add new. Okay, and that brings up the template to add your very first page for your blog. And we can kind of take a look around here. Up here in the very top in this bar is where you're going to enter the title of your article or of your page. And then down below is a little area to type, just like in any word processor. Where you can just type content, when you can bold, you can italicize. If you want to do bullet points, you can do pull-up points. If you need the number, I mean, it pretty much works just like any kind of word processor that you may have used in the past. Some of the other nice things here, they have what is called the kitchen sink, which brings up a few more goodies to play with. You can change your format if you needed a heading, and I'm still in the bullet points too, which is making that really kind of weird. The different size headings. Oops, that didn't work. Heading 2, please. There's heading 2. So any way that you want to format your page or your article, just as if you were typing in Word, you'd be able to do that here without, as you can see, without having to know any code whatsoever. The other nice thing, let's get rid of all this crazy stuff that I typed. The other nice thing is if you prepare your information ahead of time and you did use a word processor, there is a way to copy and paste that in that you don't lose any of your formatting. And the very first page that I want to create is the content that's going to show up on the home page, because I do plan to have a static home page. Again, if you have not made that decision yet, that's fine, because we're going to cover what's right for you. But I already know that I want a static page, and this is the content that I created in my word processor that's going to go on this page. And as long as you do all your formatting, if you look up here in the ribbon, if you use heading 1, that is the equivalent of H1 tags. Heading 2, all of that is the equivalent of knowing how to use H tags if you knew HTML, which you don't have to. So what I can do is I can copy clip everything off of that page and then just press the little W here for Word and give it a moment. There it is. And I can type just Control P to paste that in and say insert. And that puts the entire article right inside, already formatted. I didn't have to fuss with it at all. So let's see, I don't really have anything else to show you yet because we don't have any of the plugins installed to add on any additional functionality. We haven't chosen a theme yet. So in future videos, when we're actually building out further with a theme, there's going to be more formatting stuff that we would be able to get into in this. But right now with the basic theme, there's not a whole heck of a lot going on. I'm not going to put a featured image on this as of yet. I will get into that in a little bit. Let's see. Is there anything else that I want to go on this page? I'm trying to think real quick. I need to give it a title, obviously. That would be a good idea. Let's give it. I'm going to give it the same title as I gave the first heading. We're just going to type that in right up there. So we just come over here to the right hand side and click publish and give that a moment. Now, if I go over, well, we can do it this way. If I go to howtostartawebsite2.com in a new browser tab, you can now see that Welcome to How to Start a Website 2.0 now shows up in the menu bar. Now, why isn't it the home page? Well, because I have not told WordPress that I want it to be my home page. So, and I did hint at this in the last video that I would show you how to do this. So now that we have this page, and I know I want this page to be my home page, we're gonna go back into settings. You come back down to the dashboard and settings, and we're gonna go to, I believe it's reading, and this was where it said front page displays, and right now it's set to your latest posts. We want a static page instead, so we're going to click static page, and then we can say we want our front page to be Welcome to How to Start a Website 2.0. Now it's also asking, well, where do you want your posts to show up? Well, there's one more trick that I need to show you, and we're going to save, hopefully it'll let us save changes to that. Yes, we're going to go back to pages, and we're going to add another new page, and we're going to give this the title of where we want our blog to show up. Now, a lot of people just use the word blog, but you can use whatever makes the most sense for your website. I'm going to use the word training, because most of my blog posts are going to be directly related to instructing people how to build their sites. So in my mind, that's training. I'm going to call my blog training. You're not going to put anything else on this page, but give it a title. We're going to publish that. So now if I go back to my settings, reading, I can say I want my post page to be training, and we're going to save changes. So let's go back over to the website and refresh. So now if I go to the home page is now our blog article, and I guess I don't really need to have the text there twice. I can go delete one. So we now have a home page that has content on it. And I will also get into how we can change the arrangement of our menu bar. I probably won't dive into this stuff until we decide on which theme we're going to use, because depending on the theme, it can be a little bit different. Or if you decide to go with a paid theme versus a stock WordPress theme, a free one available inside the dashboard, we're going to handle this differently. So I'm just going to let them all go for right now, but we will be getting into that later as well. But there you go. There is our first page. And now if we want to see our blog page, we have to click training, because I decided to call it training. And then the one default blog post that your theme started with now shows up on that page. And of course, they had also started you with a sample page as well, which is right there. So now I had said that I don't really like the fact that, I made this mistake of having the text there twice. So how do you make changes? How do you edit? You just go back to the pages page, or pages tab, and we're going to come down to Welcome to How to Start a Website 2.0. I'm going to say edit. And I can just come right in here and delete that text. I don't think I wanted that bold though, so let's just make that a paragraph. Sometimes the the formatting can get a little wonky, but again, all of your changes are right up here. You can highlight and change things just like you would. Like let's say I wanted this to be bold, just like that. Um, but you'll be able to explore around in here and see what all these different settings do. And you'll discover that they're not hard to deal with at all. It's just like any other word processor. And I'm going to click update so that our front page accepts those changes. And then we come out here, click refresh, or I just click on the the uh, the header link because that's set up to take you back to your home page no matter where you are within the website. And now you can see that uh, the title of the page is there only once. So what if I want more pages? I can just come back in here and either from the sidebar like we did it before, or from the top of the page, since we're already within here, I can just say add a new page. And again, I already had this already all done up in Word with my formatting already all in place, so that I don't particularly care for creating my content directly inside the dashboard. I prefer to do it outside of here and then just come in and then paste everything and maybe tweak a few things. I might give it a final read through here and make some final edits, but for the most part, I create my content outside of WordPress and then just paste it in. So once again, I'm just going to copy clip. I'm going to bring the title of the page over first. And this is going to be our about page. And then I will copy the content of the article. So if I come back over and then I'm going to press the little word icon again and Control V to paste it in and say insert. And once again, it all comes in, keeping all of the formatting that I had given it inside of Word. So let's say we want to add an image like this. Okay, we get down here and this is information about me. So it'd probably be a good idea to let people know what I look like. I should add an image here. So I'm going to set my cursor to be where I want the image to show up, and I want it to show up in line with my very first line of my paragraph of text. So I have my cursor sitting right there. Now I'm going to come up and I'm going to say add media. And we don't have anything in our media library yet because we haven't uploaded anything, but it's really easy. We're just going to select a file, and then I'm just going to go to the place on my my computer to where I have pictures. So let's see, where can I find a good image of me? Let's see, we have a whole bunch here to choose from. What do we have in here? So yeah, let's pick one of these where I'm standing at the table. This is what I do. I have a standing workstation, and it's where I'm recording from right now. I'm actually standing behind. It doesn't have the tablecloth over it, but this is the table that I'm standing at right now while I'm working here. So I'm going to open that, and let's see. It exceeds the maximum upload size for this site. Well, that's interesting. I've never run into that before. Let's try a different one. Maybe I selected the wrong one. Let's try this one. Nope. Okay. I have never run into that before. Aha, it'll take that one. This is probably the one I had made web ready. Yeah, and that's probably a good tip I should share. You do want to crunch down your pictures. That if you take a picture with your camera and it's a couple of megabytes, that's not something you want to use on your website because it will slow your site down. It'll take your site a very long time to load that picture. and you can lose traffic that way because nobody likes waiting for a web page to load. So you want to make sure that you resize your photos to be pretty much the size that you plan on using them on your website, so that they're no bigger than they absolutely have to be. So those other two that I was picking, definitely, as you saw, I got the error messages way too big, and I shouldn't have been trying to use them anyway. This particular one uh, I had made web ready. So we're going to give this a title, and I'll just put my first name. I can put alternate text, so if somebody hovers over the image, this is the text that would come up. I'm going to just say I'm just going to put about Lori. And I'm not going to bother with a caption or a description. I don't want that stuff to show up below the picture. Now down below that, where do we want this to show up on the page? I know I had my cursor all the way over to the left, but that may not necessarily be where I want the photo to show up. I can say I want it to the left, I want it centered, I want it to the right, or no alignment. I want it to show up to the right. I like keeping my left-hand side of my pages and my articles unbroken as much as possible, that there's just straight text straight down, and then have all of my images be right aligned. It also asks you if you want your image to link somewhere. It really, I have nowhere for people to go by clicking on this image, and I don't want them to click and go to a page that's just my image. That serves no purpose for me. So I'm going to say no, do not link anywhere. And then I'm able to say, well, what size do I want to use? Do I want to use the full size? Do I want it a little bit smaller? Or do I just want a thumbnail? And I'm going to let it say, I'm going to let it use the full size of the image. I'm going to insert it into the page. Okay. Maybe I will size it down. Let's see how that looks when I publish it. So we're going to publish this page, and we're going to come over to our website and refresh. And let's see, now our about page is here. Actually, on this particular theme, we have a very narrow center for our text to show up. And this is all stuff, like, once again, that when we get into the theme that we really want to use, we can make these adjustments. I'm actually just going to leave the photo this size for right now, and if I need to make it smaller later, I can. But I kind of know from the themes that I plan to use that this size should be okay. But this is all stuff that we can go back and we can edit later. Like I said, it's very rare that anybody's going to find your site right now while you're working on it, unless you told them it's here. So don't worry about things not looking quite right yet, because it's no big deal. You're the only one looking at it. Okay, so now I have technically I have 4 pages now. I have my about page. There's the sample page that we can delete later on, but we're going to leave it for now because it'll give us an idea of what things look like as we start tinkering around with other themes later on when we go to download those. So now, how do we get more blog posts into our blogs? Right now we just have this default one, which is hello world. So how do we get more blog posts in here? Well, if you come back over to your dashboard, just like you had pages, you have posts, and we're going to come over and we're going to say add new post. Now, I do have, I could do this multiple ways. I can either continue copying and pasting from Word, or I have some content that I've already created for the back end, or what's behind the membership wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quick log into that site. Okay, so the very first article that I want to be on my site is going to be welcoming people to the blog. And I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently because I already have a lot of things formatted. So instead of using visual, I'm going to use text. Now, The difference being that when you're on this tab, you can see all of the HTML code that is used by WordPress. And when I paste that in, you'll be able to see it. I have I think a video down here that's an embed code. So you see some weird code going on there. I decided to center it, so you see center tags. I mean, this is the stuff that I know you're probably putting your fingers in your ears now, going la 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 la. This is the stuff I don't want to know how to do. Um, so, but you don't have to. I mean, if you go back over here to the visual tab, you can see the stuff formatted. And when we publish it, you'll be able to see this video. It's also asking you over here, well, what format do you want this post to be in? I just want standard format because I have, a text and a video going on. So I just want, and I've got an embed code, so I just want the standard format. And this is where we can start adding categories. I know in the session where I was going through the settings that where it asks where do you want all of your posts to go by default if you don't set a category. This is where we create new ones, and if you want to, you could go back and reset that default to be something other than uncategorized once we start once we start creating more categories. So I think I'm going to make this just like an introduction category, and anything that actually we're going to call it getting started, because I do believe that's what I call it in the back end as well, is I have a whole module that's just getting people up and running and introduced to the site. So we can do the same thing out front here. We'll call it getting started, and we'll add this new category. And as you can see, it's now checked that when I post this, it's going to get added to this category. And the nice thing about this is we can, like if we wanted to do a page that showed our post by categories, because we've labeled them that way in here, we'd be able to sort them that way later on. And the other thing to kind of help with SEO, you can put tags. So how to start a website. Let's see what other things might I want to add here for tags. I do believe that's all I'm going to put on this for now. I mean, this is something that you obviously want to give more thought, because this, I mean, I don't know how well it helps with SEO ranking anymore, but obviously Google kind of comes in and kind of does their own assessment of what your most highly used phrases are, but you do have the ability to create your own tags as well. And we can also get into there's other plugins and abilities to enhance your SEO, but right now, because we don't have any of that installed yet, the only thing we have available are the tags over here. So I'm just going to add the one for now, and I'm not going to set any featured image on this yet either. Like I said, this is all stuff that we can always come back later and tweak and improve as we start getting things built out. And I'm going to publish this. Now again, if we come back out and click our blog page, you can now see that we have more than one article. And that's the latest article that I just added. So I know I had asked people to create content in advance, and as you can see, it makes it a lot easier to just quickly plug things in and get things showing up on your site. But what if you didn't do that? Well, my daughter and I are working on a site together. where she has not created very much content yet, but we had a very strong mental image of how we wanted people to navigate around the site, what pages we would need for that, um, and the way we wanted the site to look. So I did spend some time doing a basic setup for her, and I'll show you what that looks like. And I mean, as you can see, I mean, we've done some work, we've done some content writing, but right now we basically have a lot of just placeholders because we have not created the things that are going to show up in these little frames yet. If I go to uh, click here to find out more, this is going to be a landing page where people can, find out more about what she's offering and then, sign up for her email list. So right now we just have the email sign up box here. We don't have any of the copy here, but we know we want this page. So here it is. Um, Skip to the blog. Again, the only stuff we have going on in here right now are just a couple of test posts so we could see how they would look. Again, the stuff on the side here are called widgets. We know we want these, but we haven't created the images that are going to go in here yet. They're just little placeholders, and these all do link to pages, but we haven't created any of the content yet. I mean, we just went in and I can show you over here. I mean, if I don't know what I'm going to have here yet, but I just need some content to see how things are going to look, I can say add new, and this is going to be, I'm in the blog post section right now, but I can say this is a test post, and I can just say here, check back soon for more content, ... And I can say publish to this. And if I come over here and refresh the blog, there's another blog post. Or I can do the same thing with creating generic pages, just pages that I know I need, but just say coming soon. And as you can see over here on my daughter's site, I also I threw an image of her in there as well. So it's not absolutely necessary to create your content in advance, but for a lot of people, it's, especially since they don't know how to use WordPress yet, to make something that's going to look like anything without the content. Now, like I said, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, so I knew what I needed to do to start making this website look and function the way I want it to, even though none of the content is here yet. But yeah, so I think that is where I'm going to leave this video off at. We're going to be getting into a lot more of how to use these individual tools and how to add images and how to, or PDFs or downloads or things like that. But once again, it's a matter of, let's just start getting the content that you've already created on the site so that you have something to manipulate when we start looking at themes. So your mission between now and the next video is to go ahead and load in all of the pages that you created and all the blog posts that you created, and or if you haven't created anything yet, maybe you want to do that now that you see how the information gets plugged into the site. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching and listening to another session from How to Start a Website 2.0. This episode is just one of many available inside my online course. Register for free today at howtostartawebsite2.com/thevault.